All right, good morning, everybody. I am going to go ahead and start the class. First of all, I want to say thank you to brokers for hosting. This is an amazing opportunity. I'm always very humbled when I'm asked to do my trainings to their team, and I'm able to invite everybody else from either the chats or my email list. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with brokers, but the Miami board last week announced that they're not going to be lowering their prices due to the pandemic. They're just going to give an extra 5 payment plan. And I recently saw that brokers actually initiated that they will cover 30% of your Miami board dues to renew your license. So I thought that was very cool. So let's begin. My name is Andreina Monserrate. I've been teaching this class for, I want to say 5 or 6 years since MLS Matrix began. It's actually one of my favorite ones to teach. I always believe that no matter how experienced or how well you guys know the MLS, there's always something that you guys leave knowing from my class. Okay. If you guys have questions, I do want you guys to participate. This class is for you guys. So if I'm going too fast, if you guys have a question, if you guys need to interrupt me, don't wait until the end to do a Q&A. Either write it in the chat or unmute yourselves at that time and ask the question. Now I want everybody to keep themselves muted unless they have a question. Unmute yourselves, ask the question, and then mute yourselves back up. Okay, so again, thank you so much. And I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen. 1 second. All right, can everybody see my screen? Can somebody just let me know if you guys can see the MLS? Perfect. All right, so give me 1 second. I like to keep the chat box available for me to be able to see if you guys are writing in there. All right, so obviously I'm in the homepage of the MLS. My homepage may look extremely different than yours because all these boxes, you're able to drag and drop and position them wherever it might be easier for you to go ahead and find them. Okay, let's say you guys don't want a box, you guys can X them out. And let's say at any time you feel, oh my God, I messed up, I really needed that box back. You're able to just drag and drop them right back into your home screen. So that's why my homepage looks extremely different from yours. Okay, now I know that this is very basic. Bear with me. I'm gonna go from very basic and I'm gonna get you guys all the way to creating your hot sheets and market reports and market watch. So bear with me as we, begin this class at a lower pace at the very beginning. If I'm going too fast, please do let me know. The first thing I like to show is for you guys to go to my matrix and go to my information. And I know this is very basic, but even though you guys are part of a brokerage, you guys are also members of the Miami board. So there's certain information, maybe your email address, your phone number has changed, something has changed. And even though you guys are part of the brokerage, these are things that you might have to write to the Miami board to change for you instead of going to your office. So this is your information. Then you have a header and footer if you guys want to include that in any of your reports, of your emails. If you guys want to go ahead and include them in your CMA reports. So all this is customizable. You guys can actually change the colors, pop in a picture. All this information is extremely customizable. That is your information, your CMA cover sheet. The next one is your email signature. Make sure you have a pretty signature. If your brokerage actually creates one for you, you have the image, that you can drop in and drop out in here. Then you have your agent webpage. I have been doing this class, for many years now. I've never seen what the agent webpage looks like that the board provides you, but it is something that you're paying for being a part of the board. So you're able to enable it or disable it, and you're actually able to give it a name. Okay, you give it a title, your content, you tell the system what you want to show up on this agent webpage and what you don't. Okay, last but not least, and I go through all these tabs just to get to the portal profile, because for me this is the most important tab of anything else on the MLS. And the reason for that is because every time you guys send a list of listings through the MLS directly to your clients are going to receive a link that takes them to your portal. So it is very important for you guys to enter in your pictures, a greeting, an inventory slideshow, videos, and your contact information, so that when they do receive that list of listings and it takes them to your portal, all of your information, it is set up correctly for them to know, one, how to contact you again, what do you look like, if you guys have a featured listing at the moment and you guys want to go ahead and put a video in there, you're able to. If you just want to do a welcome video, like, hey, welcome to my portal, there's a way to put it in there. But your portal, for me, it is the most important section of your MLS, because that is what your clients are viewing from you every time you send them an email. Okay, and so that I like to go through that part literally just to get to this portal profile. The most important things to do on the MLS is obviously search. It is one of the things that everybody is always telling me, Andreina, I know that there's this listing on the MLS and for some reason I cannot find it. How do I search for this listing, right? So RE1s, RE2s are obviously your sales of your residential sales. RINs are your residential incomes. That's where your duplex, your triplex, anything that is multifamily, you will find in residential income. Then you have your land, both stocks, RNTs, or your residential rentals. Then you have all of your commercial stuff, business opportunities like a hair salon, a restaurant, and then you have cross property. Cross property for me is my favorite search engine on the MLS. For some reason, all of you guys are so afraid to touch buttons on the MLS, like if this thing was going to explode in your face. Guys, do not be afraid to touch the buttons. Cross property means that not only is it going to show me everything that is for sale, it is going to show me everything that's for rent. So let's say you're working with an investor that is looking for a property to purchase that he's going to go ahead and rent right after. And you have to let him know how much they're selling for, how much they're buying for, and how much they're being rented for. All you got to do is go to cross property instead of going to RE1s, RE2s, and then to RNTs. You just go to cross property quick. And it is the exact same way you would do any other search. The only difference is that now it's going to give me the sales and it's going to give me the rentals. Okay. Now, for the MLS, for MLS Matrix, when they created this program, less is more. They wanted you guys to narrow down your search as much as possible. Okay. So you are able to give it, I believe, up to 10 addresses. So let's say you're working with a complex that has 4 or 5 different buildings and you want to go ahead and search every single one of those buildings. You're able to add them all in here. Okay. Now, why do I say that less is more? Because let's say you're searching for something, let's say 951 Brickell Avenue. I do not write avenue. I do not put AVE. Because if that listing agent spelled it all out and put avenue, I'm not going to see that listing. If I put avenue and they only put AVE, I'm not going to see that listing. So I try not to put avenues, lanes, streets, place. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I'd rather the system show me everything than show me nothing at all, or for me to be able to miss a listing that could have been perfect for my client. So I try to, just put the specifics and that's it. I do not add anything else that I don't have to. Okay. Let's say that your client is looking for your client likes a certain building and they want the O1 line. Let's say in that one building, the O1 line has the best views, is the corner units, has, waterfront line, whatever it is that your client wants the 019, right? So the way that you're going to do it is that you're going to put asterisk 01. And the reason for this is because you're telling the system, show me everything that comes before 01 or before 02 or before 05, right? So if I was to click on my results right now, I am going to see every single unit that ends in 01. Okay. Let's say that your clients want the second floor, right? I would put 2 asterisk. But now if that building has 22 floors, you're also going to see the ones that are 2 and the ones that are 22. But it will show you everything that begins with the number 2. Okay? So this is how you tell the system what it is that you're looking for. All right, so far so good, right? Any questions so far? All right. So now let's say that your client wants something that is $500,000. 500,000. Obviously, we see here that the added 3 zeros are already included. Now, if you put in the system 500, the system is only going to show you 500. It's not going to show you 499. It's not going to show you 501. It's only going to show you everything that is 500. So let's say you want something that's between 500 and 700. 500 dash 700. Let's say your client wants something that's 500 and less, 500 and then minus sign, 500 and more, 500 plus. Okay. Let's say your client went to Zillow and they came back with 10 different MLS numbers. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma. You're going to separate them all by commas. Okay, so you don't have to go back and forth checking one at a time. You can add them all in here, just separate them by commas. Okay, total number of bedrooms, 2 plus, 2 minus. Let's say you have a finicky client that likes even numbers, 2, 4, 6. This is not going to show you between 2 and 4. This is going to show you everything that has 2 bedrooms, everything that has 4 bedrooms, everything that has 6 bedrooms. Let's say they want something between 2 and 4 bedrooms. They don't mind. 2-4. This same thing worked for full baths, half baths, garage spaces, parking spaces, year built. They want something from the year 2000 to 2020. Okay. Or they only like even numbers. So 2000, 202, 204, and so forth, separated by commas. Okay. Where are we? Maybe you're somebody who likes working with area numbers, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to break down the Miami-Dade folio number, through this class. But your area numbers, let's say you want to work with an area number, you really wanna know what your area numbers are, you have a little help button here in the MLS. Second to last is called Area Maps, Miami-Dade County. And this is your area maps. So you are able to see what area your properties fall under. But again, not to worry, I'm gonna show you how to break down that Miami-Dade folio so that you don't need to use the map and you're able to break it down and know exactly what area a property's in just by using that folio number, okay? Now, let's say that your client wants to see everything that's come up on the MLS in the last 7 days. You could put active 0 to 7 days. Or maybe you want to see everything that's come up, not right now, but in the last, 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago. Okay. You're also able to give it dates. You want to see everything that came up from May 1st all the way to the 27th. And the way that the system separates it, it's by a dash in between the 2 dates. You see that dash there? So if you want to see everything that's happened in 2020, you could do 01, 2020 dash 05, 27, 2020. And that will give you everything that's happened in this year. This same thing works for active with a contract, cancel, closed sales, pending, rented, temporarily off the market, withdrawn, and expired. Okay. So far, so good. All right. So now let's do a quick search For the sake of this training, for some reason, well, not for some reason, I worked in Key Biscayne for a while, so I like to use their addresses. Let's say I'm searching at 21 Crandon Boulevard. I have 31 matches. This is, these are your results. You're able to drag and drop all of your columns, okay? You're able to add in columns. So let's say that you really want to have the listing agent's phone number right next to their name, just for the sake of this training. When you see those 4 arrows pop up on this gray line, you are able to either remove a column or insert a column. In this case, I'm going to insert the agent's phone number. Okay. You're also able to, maybe you really don't care what type of, remember we're using cross property. So you're able to see your rents and you're able to see your sales. Let's say you really don't care to see what type of, what type of listing this is. You're able to remove that column. Now, let's say that you have removed and you've added and you have your view exactly how you want to see it. And every time you come into cross property, you want to see your MLS this way. You have a little settings wheel right here. And that first link says, hey, next time I come into cross property, I want to see that this way. So it's going to set this current display every time you come to cross property. But now let's say you want to see it on not just cross property, but you want to be able to see it the same view for rentals or for your residential sales. You have a little notepad over here with a little pencil, and you're able to give this a name. And you're going to go ahead and save as a copy. So now the next time you're doing a search and you want to see a certain view, okay, you're able to come over here into the display and you're going to be able to find that one display view that you had saved, and you're going to see it in the way that you had saved it before. Okay, I'm going to go back to that other one since I like playing in cross property. So let's say that now you have narrowed down your search. You really like all these listings that I am clicking on, right? And you don't want to see all these other, listings that you didn't check. You have a little button over here that's called refine, and you are able to narrow down the search. And it gets rid of all the other ones that you did not want. You're also able to discard them. So let's say you viewed all of these and you want to get rid of these 2, you're able to discard those 2. Okay, that's a great way to kind of just narrow down your searches. Now, let's say that you really like these listings. You're not ready to send it to your client yet. You're kind of still shopping around for what it is that they might be looking for. You have a button over here that's called carts. It's kind of like shopping online where you start putting things into a cart, but you're not ready yet to purchase them. You're able to give your cart, you're able to put a new cart and you're able to give it a name. You can put it under a contact name. By putting in a contact name, it does not automatically mean that they're going to get it by email. It does not mean that your client is going to be notified. You're just kind of putting it in your cart and letting the system know who this cart might belong to, okay? For the sake of this training, I am not going to give it a name. Now, though these 6 listings went into my broker's MLS training cart. So now I go home, I am, I have done my showings all day, and all I gotta do is come to my homepage. Again, your cards might be in a different place than mine is, right? Because our homepages are different. But you're able to come over here where it says Brokers MLS Training and go right back to those 6 listings that you have picked for your client, okay? Now, from here, from your cart, or from your search, if you want, we can go right back into your search, but you can do the same thing on both, right? Now you have your little save button here at the bottom. You can do a new saved search. A new saved search means, hey, this is a criteria that I'm always searching for over and over and over again, okay? And you're able to give it a name. Now, you can narrow it down and put a contact in. Again, this does not send anything to your clients. This saved search is just for you. And you're able to go to My Matrix and you're able to go to saved searches. And that's where you're going to be able to find all of your saved searches that you have ever created, right? But that's how you save a new saved search. And that is how you look for it. The second way to save a search is your new auto email. Okay, this one does go to your clients. So in this one, you do have to put a contact name in. You are able to copy yourself in this email. You have to give it a subject name. Now you have a message. I want you guys to notice that this says welcome to the portal. Okay, remember at the very beginning of the class, I taught you guys to go into my matrix, my information, and go to the last tab that is your portal, because any email, including your saved, your auto sent emails, is going to take your client through a link to your portal. So it is very important for you guys to set that up. If you guys don't like this message, you guys are able to create one that's more personalized and one that speaks more in your voice. And then you have your recurring emails. This one's kind of welcome them to the portal. This one is every time there are new listings that matches your criteria, it's going to send them this email. And this is a message that the board has defaulted for you guys. So make sure you guys come in here and you guys do personalize it a little bit more. Okay. Now, this is my favorite button. It's called Enable Concierge Mode. And the reason why this is my favorite button is because when you guys create an auto send email and you don't want your clients to see absolutely everything, because what if they get 200 listings? Sometimes that might be a great thing. Sometimes it might be a bad thing, right? So when you enable concierge mode, you're telling the system, hey, notify me. You're going to have a yellow strip right here. Whether you're at home, wherever you are, you're going to have a yellow strip right here that says that you have listings to approve or reject. This way, before your client even sees it, you're able to approve listings for them to see and receive, or you're able to reject those listings. Now, let's say you don't really care about concierge mode. You don't want to have to be approving or disapproving of any listings that your client receives, right? You're able to tell the system, hey, every time there's a new listing, just go ahead and send it to them ASAP, as soon as possible. The next one is daily. You're able to tell the system, you know what, don't bother my clients Saturdays and Sundays. And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, send it to them in the afternoon instead. Okay, you guys know your clients better than the system, so you're able to set this up exactly how your clients would like to view it. And the last option is for them to receive the listings monthly. So instead of receiving it right away or daily, they can receive it on a monthly basis. Okay. Last but not least is this last saved button. It's called your new speed bar shortcut. It's actually one of my favorite ones. It actually was, this is your speed bar, right? So I don't know how many of you guys are in here used to work with MLS Exchange, but you used to be able to just put in an address and right away, you guys used to be able to put in an address, an MLS number, and right away used to take you straight to it. When they created MLS Matrix, it worked all by codes. Notice how this says A for active. And sometimes when you do a search, it will say RE1s, RE2s, and it will have all these different codes. So what Matrix did was that they created a way for you to be able to save your criteria as a new speed bar shortcut. And the way that this works is just by giving it a name. Okay, notice how it always has that slanted slash. But you're able to save it. And now let's say you go home and you really want to go ahead and go straight into the results of that criteria that you entered, and it'll take you right back to here. Okay, and then from here, you're able to change the criteria. So you guys are able to see absolutely everything that you guys have been searching for and save, your speed bar shortcut again. So we've learned how to refine, we've learned how to save, And now we know what cards are. So I want to go ahead and this is something that I really like to do. Remember, I told you guys that I was going to teach you guys how to break down that Miami-Dade folio. And how to break this down is very important for me because for those of you who are single family home farming, this is another great way for you guys to be able to do that search. Now, for those of you who are following me on your MLS, please don't follow me through this section because I am gonna go ahead and go into the add and edit button, but I'm not adding a new listing and I don't want you guys to compromise your MLS and get in trouble with any liabilities for touching something that you shouldn't, okay? So I am gonna go ahead. Give me 1 second. There's a question. Hola, Andreina. ¿El new speed bar shortcut sirve para single homes? Yes, it does. That new speed bar shortcut, remember, it's just a search, right? So if you guys just went in and created a search on anything, 201 Crandon, it's going to show me the 16 that are on the market, right? You guys are going to press save, new speed bar shortcut. New save. This works on everything. This is just another way to save your criteria of what you are searching. It has nothing to do whether it's single families or condos or rentals. It's just another way to save your criterias. It's like doing a safe search. The only difference is that you gave it a name and you went through it through your speed bar. Okay. Now, I'm going to break down the Miami-Dade folio, which is what I'm saying that you're able to use if you're doing single family home farming, okay? Again, do not follow me through this. I'm going to go ahead and, I always use the same address, so bear with me. Give me 1 second, because I actually did a class yesterday. All right, let's use a different address. Oh, okay. I see what the board is doing. I don't know if you guys know, but the board is changing so that you guys can no longer have like pocket listings, and you have to tell the system what criteria they're in. If it's coming soon to the market, or if guys are gonna go ahead and activate it. So now, before you enter anything, you have to tell the system how this address is coming in. So this is very cool. We're learning something that literally is activating today into the MLS. So for the sake of this, I'm gonna go right back to that address that I always use because I don't want to compromise. 470. Okay, so I'm guessing now when you do this, you're gonna be able to pick what home it is. I guess we're learning something new together. And you guys are either gonna tell this system, hey, this is gonna be active, or you're gonna be able to say, this is coming soon into the market, okay? Now, what is more important for me, and again, do not follow me as I do this. I'm just here to teach you how to break down the folio. I want you guys to concentrate on this folio number, okay? I want you guys to see something. The first set of numbers, which is 30, is your municipal code, 30. The second set of numbers, 49, is also your township, and this is also your area number. So now you don't need to go to an area map anymore to find out what area it's in. It's actually the second set of numbers in your Miami-Dade folio. The third section is 4, so your section, subdivision, and your parcel number. So how do I break it down? What does it all mean? Your parcel number, 1230, is the exact property, is that exact lot, okay? Your subdivision is your complex. Your section is all the complexes that surround that complex. And then obviously your areas is that block, as I showed you in the area map at the very, very beginning of the class. So that's a larger space, okay? But again, parcel number is the exact home. Your subdivision is your complex. Your sections, all the little complexes that are around this complex. So what does it mean when you're doing a search? So let's say I'm looking for this property. Hold on. I'm going to use cross property. Okay. And I am going to, oh, this one doesn't. Okay. So there's another one. If your criteria is missing something that you want to search with, you're able to go ahead, add and remove. In this case, I need that folio number. I want to search with the folio number. And I'm going to go back, right? So over here, I'm going to add that folio number. Now, I do know that this property is not for sale. So I'm going to get 0 matches. It's also not for rent because I'm using cross property. So I'm going to take off that parcel number. I'm going to take off that home from my search. And remember that I taught you guys how to use asterisks at the very, very beginning of the class. So I'm going to take off the parcel number and I'm going to put an asterisk at the very end of this. Now, this is telling me that there are 0 homes in the market inside this complex. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the complex and I want to see the surrounding areas. Now, the system's telling me that there's 9 properties that surround that complex that are in the market. Obviously, if I was to take off that surrounding area and I leave it with the area number, you know, sometimes I'm going to get 5 and up because the area numbers are very large. But there's a way that if you have a client that only wants to live in a certain neighborhood due to the school or a certain area due to the school, you're able to break it down just by getting the folio number of one property and entering it into the system and using the asterisk to do the breakdown. Okay, so that is very cool. That's how you break the Miami-Dade folio number. Any questions? Are we good? All right. So the next thing I want to show you guys is hot sheets. For me, hot sheets are very, 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 very important. What does hot sheet mean? Let's say you're at Starbucks. You're at the Starbucks in Brickell and you are there and you see a random person and you're telling them, I am the specialist of the Brickell area. And that individual then tells you, oh yeah, well, can you tell me what is going on at the plaza in Brickell? And at that moment you say, let me get your information. And when I get back to my office, I'm gonna send you an email. That random person that you just met is gonna think you're no longer the specialist of that area because you were unable to answer that question for them, right? So through the hot sheets, you're able to have educated, knowledgeable conversations with randoms or people that you know about what's going on in the area that you're farming, right? So these are your hot sheets. Now, if you have absolutely never, ever, ever set up your hot sheets, I want you guys to click on the button. It's not gonna look like this because this person deleted everything and they've added their own hot sheets, right? But I want you guys to go to customize. I want you guys to go ahead and delete every single one that the board gave you. Don't be afraid to delete it. You're not using it anyway. And whatever they gave you is defaulted to them. It's not defaulted to what you're actually gonna use it for, right? So once you've deleted absolutely everything that the board defaulted in their settings, I want you guys to go ahead and click on the button add. You're able to pick what type of hot sheet you want. So do you want to just do residential sales? Do you want to do rentals? What is it you want to do? For me, if I'm going to be the specialist of absolutely everything, not only do I want to see the sales, I also want to see the rentals. Okay, so I'm going to use cross property. I'm telling you, it is my favorite button. And after this class, it's going to be your new favorite button as well. And I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to go ahead and enter the plaza because that is what we're going to go ahead and that's going to be my hot sheet for today. And I'm going to click save. Now, by just giving it a name, the MLS has no idea where the plaza is located. So now I'm going to go ahead and edit the criteria. Did you see when I was going to add and edit that new listing that it said coming soon? That's because there is a new button for you guys in the MLS. But in this box, I want you guys to click on everything because when you're standing at that Starbucks, I want you guys to be able to say 5 came on the market, something had a price decrease, some, X amount got closed. So I want you guys to click on absolutely everything that is on this side. And I'm gonna go ahead and enter the address of the plaza. Okay. I'm not gonna enter absolutely anything else because I don't care how many bathrooms it has or how many bedrooms. I wanna see everything that the plaza has been doing, okay? So I'm gonna click on save. And then I'm gonna click on done. And then I'm able to tell the system in the last 7 days or in the last 3 days or today, what has occurred in my farming area, right? So in this case, I'm gonna pick 7 days and I'm gonna click on the plaza. So this is what this is telling me. In the last 7 days, 3 new listings came up, 2 had price decreases, 1 got canceled, 2 got under contract, and 2 got rented. So again, this is not showing me absolutely everything that the plaza has active, or how, or all the ones that had price changes, or how all of the, the movement for everything that's ever happened at the plaza. This is only showing me the movement that has occurred in the plaza in the last 7 days. So now, if I am at Starbucks and I am speaking to a random stranger or somebody that I know, and they happen to say, hey, what has occurred at the plaza? I'm able to say with confidence, hey, 3 new listings came on the market, 2 had price decreases, 1 canceled, 2 got under contract, and 2 became rented. This is the way that you guys are now specialists of an area. The cool thing about hot sheets is that you guys are able to add in here, I believe, like 10. So if you do work that Brickell area and you have the plaza, the bond, Brickell Place, any buildings, 1010 Brickell, you guys are able to put them all in here and go to that Starbucks that's right behind the bond and have this very educated, knowledgeable conversation with prospects that will look at you like you are the specialist of those areas. Does anybody have any questions on this? This is great. If you guys have any questions, please unmute yourselves and, ask your questions, okay? Now, again, I like doing these for either complexes or buildings. I like narrowing down what's going on. Now, let's say that you want to see what is going on in Brickell in general, right? You have here what's called, you guys have here what's called the Market Watch. And if I were you guys, I would have these hot sheets right on the top, front and center, and I would have the Market Watch, front and center. I mean, these two are like this should be like your Bible, what you guys are looking at every single day before you guys even leave your house, because this is your farming area. This is what you guys are working on, right? So I actually set this up yesterday at a class yesterday for the Market Watch, but we worked on the plaza. So I want to keep it Brickell, right? Now you guys are able to come over here and again, cross property, single family, what it is that you want. And you guys should come over here and customize. Now, when you customize, again, I want you guys to click on everything that's in this box and work on your zip codes. These are the 3 zip codes for Brickell. So you have the 33131, 33130, 33129. These are 3 zip codes. So this is a very large market watch that you guys are doing. Thank you, Debbie. I miss you. So in my market watch right here, in the last 7 days, in cross property, again, I am at the Starbucks in Brickell, and I am able to say that there's 260 new listings in the Brickell area, okay? And I'm able to open it up like I just did and see what those listings are. But this is the movement that's happened in the last 7 days in Brickell. 216 new listings, 24 came back on the market, 129 had price decreases, 18 had increased their price, 19 got active with a contract, and so forth. This way, when you are starting, you're there at the Starbucks speaking to this individual, not only are you able to tell him what is going on at the plaza, you're also able to tell them what's going on in the Brickell area. No one is going to be able to say, this person does not know, you know, what they're working on. This is how you have educated conversations with strangers about the area that you actually work. Laura says that sometimes I'm doing a little bit too fast. This video is absolutely recorded. I put everything on my website. If you are a broker's agent, it's actually going to be on your member site as well. So this is available for everybody, and I'll input the information at the end of this. But again, we've learned hot sheets and we've learned the market watch. Now, based on the time, we have 15 more minutes for the class. I want to teach you guys how to get your market reports. And for me, this is something that's very important as well. Because if you guys are doing your hot sheets and you guys are doing your market watch, now you guys need the numbers, right, for your clients. Now, I do market reports very differently than most people because I actually get them, one, straight from the MLS, and I get them straight from doing a search. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do this, right? So I would go to search, and this is the one time that I don't go to cross property. I am going to go to my RE1s, RE2s, right? And I want to see absolutely everything that's active to date. And I want to see everything that's closed. And I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, my market report. We're in May, but nobody worked in April. I'm kidding. I hope everybody worked in April. But I'm going to do my market report for the month of March, right? So I'm going to do 03/01 2020. Remember that dash in between. I'm going to do 03/31 2020. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the zip code, since I am working with Brickell apparently today. I'm going to do 33131. 33130 and 33129, the three zip codes for Brickell. I'm gonna go ahead and click on results. Now remember when I said that you guys are all very afraid of touching buttons on the MLS, and you guys should not be afraid. Don't be afraid to touch the buttons. You have a button at the bottom that's called stats. And then I want you guys to click on tabular. Now, what does this mean? Okay. This is going to tell you that there's 2,177 active listings in this area, okay? The listing price is around the medium. I want you guys to concentrate on this bottom bar right here, right? Real estate vocabulary, I want you guys to stick with medians, okay? So 2,177 active listings in the Brickell area. The list price, the medium list price is $4.99. This is the list price by square feet. And due to these prices, they stay on the market for 182 days, okay? Now I want you guys to come here. In the month of March, there was 122 closed sales in the Brickell area. They ended up closing at 371. The median price was 371,000. This was the sale price by square feet. And due to this criteria, these listings were on the market for 100 days. That is your market reports. So when you're speaking to somebody in Brickell, you're gonna say, in the month of March, 122 closed in sales, 122 properties closed. The median price was 371. The square footage is 352, and those properties were in the market for an average or a median for 100 days. Okay? Does everybody understand? Do you guys want me to redo this market report again? Yes, no? All right. Yes, do it again. Okay. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go into my search. I'm gonna go to my RE1s, RE2s. I wanna see everything that's active, and I wanna see everything that closed in the month of March. 03, actually I'll do May now. I mean, I'll do, we're in May right now, so I cannot do May because May is not over. So I'm gonna go ahead and do April. 04/01 2020 -04 30, 20, 20. And I want to see everything that has happened in Brickell, because that's kind of the area that we've worked this entire class. Okay, so I'm putting the 3 zip codes there, and I'm going to go ahead and go into results. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on stats, and I'm going to click on tabular. So I want you guys to notice that in March, 122 properties, closed out. But then in April, only 60 closed, obviously because we were in the pandemic. We were at home, right? We were in quarantine. But this is what it means. I want you guys to stick with the median lingo. I don't want you guys to see anything else, right? Stick with the median price. I want you guys to understand that there are current to date 2,177 properties actively on the market today in Brickell, okay? The list price, the median list price is $4.99. This is the list price by square feet, and this is how long they stay on the market for in this area. Then you have 60 that closed sales in the month of April, okay? 60 in the month of April. I want you guys again to stay with the median. The sales price were around 360,000. This is the square footage price, and this is how long they were on the market for. Somebody's asking, can I save that stats as well? You can. Even though this has print, well, you cannot save it in the MLS, but you're able to save it for yourself as a PDF, okay? Now, why is this important to you guys as agents? Even if you're not going to show it maybe to your clients, maybe this, not just for you guys to understand your market reports. If I was going to go ahead and buy leads, I hate to say the word Zillow, but let's say I'm buying leads from Zillow, and I decide to buy these 3 zip codes from Zillow. First of all, I'm making a lot of money, right? Because I just bought Brickell. But only 60 sold in this month. Let's say there was no quarantine and only 60 sold. So now I'm spending money on Zillow, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, Zillow sucks, the leads didn't work. Market reports help you guys analyze what areas are actually moving very well, which areas are actively, closing out. So if I was to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to spend money on Zillow, most likely I wouldn't spend it on Brickell this month, because it's showing me that the Brickell area is not moving based on these stats, right? Maybe I'd want to go ahead and go into a different area and get leads somewhere else. But I want you guys to use your market reports, not just as conversation pieces to your clients, but also has this part of like that investment research of where should I spend my money on, okay? This Patricia that is asking, can I save the stats as well? What's the difference between average and median? That's a great question. All right, so if you see the average over here, it's 760, right? But the average over here is showing you that when they close is 455. It's kind of off. I want you guys to, I have this written down somewhere, that the difference between average and median. You actually got me. My brain just went fried. But the way that it was explained to me in the past was that just because the average of the listing price, like let's say they normally averagely asking, for a certain price, normally the average sales price is very different. But when you stick with that median price, it tends to not be that far off. Again, I'm gonna look for the definition on this, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there for you guys to know the exact definition. But that's kind of like how it was more or less explained to me. And for the last 6 years, I've kind of just stayed with the median price. And I've noticed that when I do the median price, that's also what the board uses when they take out their market reports in the middle of the month, and they show you how many single family homes compared to condos and what is actually moving. They are also using the median price. It says, median, you add all the values and divide it by the total number of properties. That's what I think I remember from back in the days at school. Maybe that's why, to be honest with you, I started, you know, in the old company that I was working with, I used to do the market reports this way. And we used to print them out and we used to take it out into the world. And most companies actually pay, you know, a fortune to get these numbers. So in order for me to be able to get these numbers right and print it as a market report, we used to go back to the board and see the numbers that they were using to see if what they used to get would match what I used to get. And it used to always be that median price and the median numbers. But I will get you guys, you know, the correct definition. I'll put it out there for you guys to be knowledgeable and know the correct answers. Do you agree with the board reports? The board reports everything, the board reports based on the data that we enter into the MLS. It's literally data entry. It's a computer that's taking out these reports. What I don't agree with is that they put these reports out, you know, if the month of May closed, they'll put it very close to June, right? So by the time you're looking at it, you're closing out June. So I feel like their reports are a little behind on, you know, per month basis, where I've always gotten these reports done that first week of, you know, of that first month, so I know what happened in the month before. So I do agree with the numbers that they're giving you guys, because it comes straight from the numbers that you input in the MLS. You know, when you guys are closing, the price it closed for, this is where they gather their information. They're getting it from a computer. It's not a human being making up numbers. They're literally getting it from the computer. The problem that I do see is that a lot of agents might have closed the property, let's say on March 1st, and then they don't close it on the MLS until March 25th, right? So my numbers on my report and maybe the board's numbers on that report might not gather that property. And then we do have a lot of agents that might not know exactly what it all means when they're closing out a listing or when they're inputting a listing. So the dates might be wrong as well, based on the information that the listings agents or that closing agent is inputting in. So, you know, I can't say that the board is wrong on that. All right, so Jamie puts the medium of a set of numbers is the number where half the numbers are lower and half the numbers are higher. The average of set of numbers is the total of those numbers divided by the number of items in that set. Thank you. There you go. Both of you went into and looked for that definition for me. So when you guys ask me if I agree with the board, I agree that the board gets these numbers straight from you guys. So I have to agree with them. In that sense, I'm very biased when it comes to the board. Any questions? This pretty much kind of concluded the class. Any questions you guys have? Please unmute yourselves, talk to me, and I'll be more than happy to, you know, redo something that you guys didn't get, or, you know, how can I help you guys further? Or if you guys are ready, we can go ahead and call it a day. No more questions? All right, well, I want to thank absolutely everybody that joined us today. I remember now, thank you so much, very useful. Is it going to be recorded? It is being recorded. It is going to go ahead and, all right, let me give you guys my information here on the chat. My name is Andreina Monserrate. This is my website, and this is my cell phone number, which I actually give to everybody. I'm very accessible to everyone. Now, I do want to say thank you to brokers for giving me this opportunity and speaking to all of your agents, and, you know, for me to be able to allow and bring in everybody that is on my group chats, as well as in my email campaigns. For those who are asking me what I feel about the board and if the things are, you know, if I agree with everything that they're doing, last week they actually announced that they're not going to lower their prices for this year. So if you want to renew, your dues, which are due by July 31st, what they're doing is a payment plan. So instead of paying it in 3, you're able to pay it in 5, right? So I did want to say this because I've never seen another brokerage actually be very loud and say, hey, because the board did not help you, we actually have your back. And I saw that brokers has announced that they're actually going to pay 30% of your renewal fees, due to this announcement that the board made. So if you guys want more information on that, reach out to me, reach out to brokers, because I thought that was very, very, very cool for any brokerage to actually do that and have, the realtors back. There's another question. How do you know what condos are short available? I'm guessing short rentals. So you would go really quick, search rentals, and you guys are able to put over here single family seasonal, or if you want a condo, seasonal. Okay, that means short. All right, guys, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys very soon again. Have a good one, everybody.